Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Jay Sit Down Podcast. I'm your host Jaden, and today, after a brief hiatus, we're back with the show this week. So you have to take a little pause for a minute, but we're back here with Jay Sit Down, and we've got a lot of good things coming for you guys this week here on the show. I'm also doing this at the same time while I'm studying for finals for college right now for the first semester. So wish me luck on those, and best of luck to everybody out there in college who's getting ready to take finals and everything like that. You got it. But today we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons and how the fact that they're in a serious amount of trouble right now. And also the Los Angeles Rams picking up a huge win over the Buffalo Bills yesterday. And just the fact that when they play really good, they can go toe-to-toe with any team in the league, possibly beat any team in the league. So we'll get into that and a few more things. But before we get started, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button right there. Like, comment, share your thoughts, whatever. We're here on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Jace with Down Pie. Y'all know the deal already by now. And like I said, it was a lot of good games on yesterday. The Chiefs Raiders game, Chargers game. Chiefs and Chargers game went down to the wire, went down to a field goal, doinking in for the Chiefs to win. The Chiefs' dark magic continues. As the running theme around the league is that the Chiefs are like selling their souls to get these wins that, they're not dominating the teams they're playing. They're just coming out of here with these close wins. They're getting it done when they need to get it done. So what can you say about that, right? But like I said, the Falcons is what we're going to be talking about first today. So Atlanta is currently 6-7 right now. They lost 48-21 or something like that. Yeah, 44-21 against Minnesota yesterday. It was a bad game for Atlanta. Kirk Cousins at first was looking decent, getting the ball down the field to Darnell Mooney, and the offense was starting to generate some good drives. But unfortunately for the Falcons, the turnovers. Kirk Cousins has in the last 4 games has had a 0 to 8 touchdown interception ratio, meaning he has thrown 8 interceptions in his last 4 games and has not thrown any touchdowns at all. That's not winning football. And it's largely the reason why the Falcons have lost their last 4 games. They haven't won since they beat Dallas, in week 9, and they were 6-3 at that point, and, sitting atop the NFC South and sitting at the 3rd seed overall in the NFC conference. But since then, they've entered a horrible skid offensively, just have not been able to score in the red zone much. They're struggling down there. Kirk Cousins is just been playing really bad football himself, turned the football over a lot. A few fumbles, like I said, the 8 interceptions in the last 4 games. And it just was not, overall just was an embarrassing team effort yesterday from Atlanta. A lot of blown coverages in the secondary. Guys are wide open. Jordan Addison had 3 touchdowns for Minnesota yesterday. And Sam Darnold threw for 5 touchdowns out there balling. Hey, look, I'll listen, I'm not going to hate on Sam Darnold. Okay. Sam Darnold has been having a great year, currently 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions this season. He's having a fantastic year. He keeps it up. Hey, might be a dark horse for MVP, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but not really a stretch. He's playing really good football right now for Minnesota. Got to give him credit there. And they were just able to exploit everything the Falcons were doing wrong and not doing at all, especially D. Alford falling down. Like when Justin Jefferson went to score one of his touchdowns, I don't even know what D. Alford was doing back there. I have no idea what was going on. That looked like a high school kid playing corner for the first time ever in his life, and goes in the game and he doesn't know what to do. But overall, so like I said, as a fan, it's like as a Falcons fan, we should be used to it by now. But at the same time, it's like you're thinking this bringing in a guy like Kirk Cousins was going to help, play the quarterback troubles that we were facing after 2 years with Desmond Ridder and Marcus Mariota, right? And at first, it's got off a little rocky, but Kirk Cousins managed to get things going, and we were picking up some good wins, and against Tampa Bay twice, and beating the Eagles on the road, and he had a good ending to that game. Like the Falcons, but since then, man, it's just been like I don't know what if it's something personal with Kirk Cousins. I don't know what the exact problem is. The offensive play calling has also been a little off by Zach Robinson. A bunch of things contributing here to the fact. And Raheem Morris is standing pat on not benching Kirk Cousins right now. He's going to keep him as a starter. He's saying that's a starter. You know, a lot of fans are wondering why Michael Penix has not gotten any playing time. And, you know, like the fan in me also wants to like ask that question because, you know, I would like to see what he would be able to do. But at the same time, you know, there's probably a reason why he isn't playing, you know, because we're not there at practice. We're not seeing, you know, what the coaches are seeing at practice and what Michael Penix may be doing right or maybe doing wrong. And if they feel like he might even make something, they feel like if he might make a mistake that causes them to, you know, continue to play the offense, you know, if he were to enter the game. So things like that you have to take into consideration for why certain players the backups aren't playing right now. You know, that's just thinking from being, you know, from a football perspective and from a coach's perspective, things like that, right? And Atlanta, like I said, is 6-7 right now. They play the Raiders, and guess who's starting for the Raiders next week, guys? Desmond Ridder. So the Falcons will be playing against Desmond Ridder and the Las Vegas Raiders next week. And I promise you, if Desmond Ridder comes out there and throws for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you know, like it's gonna, I don't know, man. I think a lot of Falcons fans are gonna like erupt, like in, you know, like they're going to burn down Mercedes-Benz Stadium or something. I have no idea. Like that's because if Desmond Ridder comes out there and balls out against us, like, man, I don't know what to say after that. But you know, it definitely that's something that definitely would happen to Atlanta because it just does. Things like that just happen. So. But moving on from Atlanta, now to the Los Angeles Rams, right? The Rams Bills game was probably one of the best games out there, out on the, you know, being played yesterday. And it was a really good game from start to finish. Rams kind of were cruising a little bit, you know, and Josh, I really like the Bills have got to figure out how to balance out their offensive attack because, you know, I mean, everything just kind of blow through Josh Allen is just not going to work when they go into the postseason. You know, they got to play against Kansas City, Baltimore, possibly Pittsburgh on the road, whatever, what have you. You know, they got to figure out how to spread out this offensive attack evenly. They got to figure out a consistent rushing game from their running back room that's just not Josh Allen taking off. You know, and he can do it. He's very good. He had 82 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns yesterday to go along with his 342 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough. However, they're going to need to find some, like I said, some consistent production from the running back room to help take pressure off of Josh Allen because he cannot continue to do that. You know, as big as he is, as strong as he is, as good a runner as he is as a quarterback, you know, wrong hit, a bad hit, and you know you can't afford to have him out, right? Because he is the focal, he is the glue, he is everything that their offense is. It revolves around him. And yesterday, I would say the Rams, when they're healthy, when they're fully healthy, you know, they had everybody on their offensive line back yesterday. You know, and defensively, they're still coming along. It's their defense isn't that good, but excuse me. It's that time of year. But when they play consistently, when they play sound fundamental football, you know, and they're converting their third downs. You know, they converted over 70% on third downs yesterday, which is huge. You know, and a big part of that was Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua finishing with 12 receptions, 162 receiving yards, and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 92 yards and a touchdown. When you're getting production from those guys, that's huge. And Demarcus Robinson has been a great addition to them, too. He unfortunately suffered an injury yesterday. Don't have an update on that. But he's been great for them. You know, Matthew Stafford continuing to show people that he is still that guy, and he is still a great quarterback, and he's out there dropping dimes. And, you know, just the Rams really, man, could compete with anybody. Like, I think they can go toe-to-toe with any team. They're currently the A seed in the NFC right now. And they can beat anybody if they're playing on their game, if everybody is healthy, you know, defensively they got a young defense, you know, and that might be the thing that hurts them later on should they make the playoffs. But overall, offensively, I think they can go toe-to-toe with anybody when they're playing on their game, when they're converting third down, staying ahead of the chains, you know, when the offensive line is protecting Matthew Stafford, if Kyron Williams getting that run game going, Sean McVay is then able to utilize all his weapons effectively to keep the chains moving, then they're a hard team to beat. and they put up 44 points, man, 44 points. That's like yesterday, and highest scoring game of the year, in fact, this whole season. So I was really impressed by what I saw from the Rams there. And the Bills, like I said, it's just you have games like this where you're going to face a team, this is NFL, these are professionals on every all 32 teams, even your bottom feeders like the Panthers and, the Bears, like, yeah, these guys are professionals. They're in the NFL for a reason. So any given Sunday, every week, you don't know what's going to happen, and you can have these big games and these big scoring games. And it's going to come down to one of those last plays. That's what makes football football. That's what makes it what we love. And it just was, like I said, overall, it was a fun performance to watch from both quarterbacks, really. I mean, the only thing, like I said, that concerns me going forward for Buffalo is that, they have to find a balanced attack. And if they can do that, then, yeah, they'll be hard to beat as well. I don't – in AFC right now, the way things stand, I mean, you got Pittsburgh still playing good football right now. They're, 10-3 or so on the year. Beat the Browns yesterday. I mean – the Chiefs continuing to do what they do. They're still atop the AFC. They won the division, clearly. The Ravens are just a funky team. I don't know about them, but my top three teams right now in the AFC are the Bills, the Chiefs, and no, this is in no order. The Bills, the Chiefs, and the Steelers. Like, those are my top AFC teams right now. Everybody else is just kind of like, any given week, yeah, they might pop out and do their thing, but it's consistently from what we've seen throughout the season, those three teams have been playing really great football. And it'll really, honestly, it's going to come down to it once we get close to the end of the season, going into the postseason. Right now, this is December football. It's cold. It's tough, and the weather, everything. Like I said, this is where you find out who the real teams are. Who are the teams that are going to run the ball? They're going to be physical. They're able to get after it on defense, and this is where you separate those. This is where you separate those players. You separate those teams and players from those who aren't that way, right? So yeah, that's pretty much, the gist of it. Like today's episode, guys, like I said, I just wanted to address that. And I think honestly, the Falcons right now are in a spot where they desperately need to win against the Raiders. They got to win out at this point. They won't even consider making to the playoffs. They got to go 10-7, and yeah, they play Las Vegas. They play Carolina again at some point. So, they got a couple more games that are winnable. But heck, we could say the Chargers game was winnable last week for them, and they lost that game. That was a game they desperately needed. They should have the Broncos game. They should have won that too. Really though, they lost to the Saints, which was not a good thing. And Tampa Bay now is cruised up to the front of the division for Atlanta. So this is a point now. I don't know what else they can do. I don't know. I think Kirk Cousins is just going to have to stop turning the football over. And, something about him is just giddy right now. And he's not – he's feeling off. And I don't know what is causing that, but he's got to figure it out if he wants to make the playoffs and he wants to even possibly stay in Atlanta. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you guys for watching today's episode of Jay's Fit Down. We'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow us if you haven't already on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Jay's Fit Down Pod. I'm your host, Jaden. We'll see you next time.